everyone, it's Mrs. Rickler, and it's time for our number corner on Monday. Let's look at the date. If you notice, the date isn't even here. I'm going to see if you can spell the month, write the day, and the year all by yourself. Today's date is April, so you'll write that first, 20th, make sure to put your comma, 2020. See if you can write April 20th, 2020 all by yourself. Then you'll also write the short date. I can't wait to see what your dates look like. Now let's look at our date on a calendar. April 20th, 2020. Can you find 20 on the calendar? There it is. If you go up, what day of the week is it today? If you said Monday, nice job. If today is Monday, what will tomorrow be? If you said Tuesday, nice job. Tomorrow will be Tuesday. If today is Monday, what was yesterday? If you said Sunday, nice job. Yesterday was a weekend day, so there was no school. Now let's look at our calendar pieces for the month of April. Remember that our calendar pieces are going to show us one of four things: length, weight, capacity, or temperature. Since we just had a weekend, we need to figure out Saturday's piece, Sunday's piece, and today's piece. Go ahead and make a prediction for Saturday's piece, but you don't need to write it down. If you guessed weight, nice job. April 18th was weight. There's a man standing on the scale and he's saying, "I've lost some weight." So our word weight is even on the card. If Saturday was weight, make a prediction for what Sunday was. If you guessed capacity, nice job. The 19th shows us a picture of motor oil, which you might use for your car. If you look carefully on the side, it's showing us how much motor oil is in the container. Now that we have Saturday and Sunday's pieces, go ahead and write down your prediction for what it's going to be today. Then we'll see if you're right. If you guessed temperature, nice job. Today, April 20th, shows us temperature. We see the bee on the flower, and then in the corner, we can see it's telling us how many degrees it is outside. How many degrees is it outside? 72. Nice job. It's 72 degrees where this bee is. Now let's look at our days of learning in school. Including our digital learning days, today makes 138. Remember, we can't fit all of the 10 frames on this tiny whiteboard, so we have to use our brain to keep the first 100 in our minds. Remember that 10 frames make 100. So imagine that 10 frames are full. Let's put 100 in our brains and then count by tens. 100, 110, 120, 130. Then we stop because this 10 frame is not full yet, so we can't count by tens. Now we need to count by ones. 131, 132, 133, 134, 135, 136, 137. But today's number is 138. How many more dots do I need to add? Just one. Now we have 138. Next, let's look at 138 with our chain links. Remember, for 138, we're only looking at representing the number in the ones place. Do you remember which of these numbers is in the ones place? This is the 100s place. This is the tens place. And 8 is in the ones place. If you guessed that 8 was in the ones place, nice job. So we need to have 8 links today. How many links do we have right now? If you said 7, you're correct. So we need to add one more. What color link are we going to add today? Blue. You're right. Now let's write a number sentence to match our chain links. 5 reds plus 3 blues equals 8. Just like the number 8 in the ones place of 138. Now let's look at 138 on a number line. Here's 138. So far, we have numbers 130 through 137. Remember that some of our numbers are odd and some of our numbers are even. Odd numbers end in 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9. Even numbers end in 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. Look closely at 138. Is that an even or an odd number? Go ahead and write down your prediction. If you said even, nice job. 138 is an even number because it ends in an 8. 8 is a number that can be shared fairly between two people, which is what makes it an even number. Now you're going to count the numbers that we have on our number line so far. Go ahead and start with 130 and stop at 138. You can count the numbers as I move them for you. Nice job. Tomorrow we'll add a new number to our number line. Now let's look at our frog and toad graph for the month of April. I'm going to go ahead and spin the spinner first. It looks like today is another frog day. So we're going to color in another frog piece. We can pretty easily tell which one has the most. Which one has the most, frog or toad? Frog. If frog has the most, that means toad has the least. Nice job. How many does frog have? If you said 8, nice job. How many does toad have? 5. Very good. Now we're going to look at our than question. Remember, if we use the word than, we are comparing two things. So my question for you is, how many more does frog have than toad. You are going to use this sentence frame to write down how many more frog has than toad. Frog has more than toad. Fill in the number in that blank space. I can't wait to see if you are correct again today. Now let's use the information from our graph to fill out our number sentence sheet. So far, we have 7 plus 4 equals 11, and 7 plus 5 equals 12. How many frogs do we have today? 8. How many toads do we have today? Still 5. So our number sentence is 8 plus 5. Since we don't have enough fingers to hold up 8 fingers and 5 more, you're going to have to use a different strategy. You might draw circles. You might draw tally marks. You might put 8 in your head and then count 5 more fingers. Or you might be able to look at this number sentence to figure out what the answer to today's is. What is 8 plus 5? If you said 13, nice job. 8 plus 5 is 13. You could put 8 in your head and keep counting up to 13. You could have drawn 8 circles and then 5 more circles to count them up. You could have done the same thing with lines or a 10 frame, even a number line. Or you could have noticed that the number sentence from before is very similar to our number sentence today. The 5s are the same. 7 and 8 are only 1 apart. So if 7 plus 5 is 12, then 8 plus 5 is 13. Now let's look at our challenge. This week, our challenge is going to be different. We're not working on word problems. Instead, we're working on number sentences. In kindergarten, we look at number sentences one way. Usually, one number plus another number equals a total. So I've shown you 2 plus 3 equals 5. But we're going to look at how we can write that same number sentence in different order. It's important that these two pieces, called the parts, are always together. So 2 and 3 always need to be together. But it doesn't have to be in this order. Let me draw to show you. 2 red dots and 3 blue dots makes 5. But what if I flip-flop 2 and 3? Whoop, whoop. Is that still going to equal 5? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. 3 and 2, 2 and 3, they both make 5. So you can flip-flop your two parts. Whoop. Or whoop. Let's look at something else. Usually we see equals and the total at the end of the number sentence. But as long as the total is next to the equal sign, it doesn't have to be last. Instead of saying 3 plus 2 equals 5, we could say 5 equals 2 plus 3. 2 and 3 are still together. And 5 is still with the equal sign. so it doesn't have to be last. Now let's leave 5 at the beginning and flip-flop 2 and 3. Instead of 5 equals 2 plus 3, let's say 5 equals, whoop, whoop, 3 plus 2. As long as you're keeping the important parts together, there's lots of different ways to write number sentences. Let me put it back to how it was in the beginning. Three plus 2 equals 5. First, let's write the flip-flop. 2 plus 3 equals 5. I've kept 5 in the same place, but I flip-flopped 2 and 3. Now I'm going to put 5 first. 5 equals 3 plus 2. My parts are still together, and my 5 is with the equal sign. Now I can have one more way to write this. Let me put 5 first one more time. 5 equals, if I already wrote 3 plus 2, this time I'm going to write 2 plus 3. That might have made your brain go, pew! But all of these number sentences are the same. They're just written in a different order. So today you have a number sentence challenge. I want you to write a number sentence 4 different ways. Here's the first number sentence that you can copy from me. 3 plus 1 equals 4. Go ahead and write down 3 plus 1 equals 4. Then I want you to write that same number sentence in different order. This one will have a flip-flop. You'll just flip the 3 and the 1. And then these last two will have the number 4 first. I can't wait to see if you can write all of these number sentences. This is the first time we're doing this, so it might be a bit tricky, but we're going to do it all week. So if it's tricky today, no worries. We'll practice again tomorrow. Good luck, and happy Monday!